Y'all, if y'all have not seen the movie Greatest Showman, you're missing out. And oh, you read the critics. And normally, if the critics hate something, I love it. So the critics hated the movie. Oh, it glamorized this, guy that was swindling, whatever. It's good. I loved it. Great movie. Beth and I went to see it on a date night, and if you can watch it, watch it. The music is to die for. Oh, it's just moving. Got to see a marching band, Haralson County High School in Georgia. I'll never forget their show. They did it maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and very moving when you see that in an instrumental fashion as well. Just a powerful, powerful, powerful movement. So I don't care if the movie is historically accurate. I can remember my cousin when Titanic came out. Oh, that's not what happened on the Titanic. It's a movie for the love. Can people not just enjoy stuff? Just enjoy stuff, y'all. Stuff is good. Life is good.
You should do an entire week of that soundtrack.
Oh,
The soundtrack for that movie is my favorite.
my gosh. I always say my favorite movie is the Star Wars movies, right? So I love the Star Wars movies and even the ones that the people hate, the critics. Oh, Jar Jar Banks was, just listen, I love it. I love the whole thing about it. It's a love story. It's, Darth Vader, at the end, his love for his son. He saves his son. Um, it's moving. So I'm moved by stuff. I love the arts. I love what's his name, Salvador Dali's art. I love all this. I just love music. It moves me in a way, and that's why we talk about it so much. I wanted to be a band director when I was in high school. That's what I was doing. I got a music scholarship to the University of Kentucky in Jacksonville State. I was in the marching band at Jacksonville State University, the best marching band in the entire United States. And you know what? I got there and had a little change of heart. What was my change of heart? Because I said, you know what? I'll never make enough money. That there's a new movie on it. There's a new movie on Netflix. What is it, baby? Jungle Cruise? Yeah, we'll watch that. All right, let Eddie do this little session here. So, you know what I did? I was going to be a band director. But then I got to thinking, well, you know what? Band directors don't make a lot of money. And so I did not follow my life's journey to become a band director. Why? So I went into business, right? Went into business, got me a degree, tried to get a job with Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch didn't hire me. None of these places hired me. So I went to work with the government. When in doubt, go with the government. But I was always of the thought process that, I wouldn't make enough money. So here's what I'm trying to tell my kids now is that, listen, I want you to go into an endeavor that you love. Oh, go into something that you love. Go into something that, that you're passionate about. Okay. Go into something that you're passionate about. Go into something that, that moves you. Music moves me in a lot of ways, and I didn't go into it. So now what do? I'm the treasurer for the high school band. I don't even have a kid in the high school band, but I'm treasurer for the band because I like making sure that I can, help anyway to promote the arts. And if I can help manage their money, that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, Jason's 26 years old. Hopefully he's doing something that he loves and he's passionate about. So many of us old timers, I didn't do it, and I had the opportunity to do anything that I wanted to. So I went into business thinking that was the way. Now, what I'm telling my kids is it really doesn't matter what you go into that you're passionate about. If you'll sit with daddy a little while, and if you'll let me help you with some trading stuff, then you can create, income on the side that you can, do basically whatever you want to do. If you'll live underneath your means, if you won't go out when you're 18 and buy a brand new car on credit and finance it over 7 years, then, chances are you're going to be okay too. So you buy things that are used and in good condition. Jason's got me looking at computers now. You know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at refurbished computers. Can I afford a brand new computer? Absolutely. I can get me a hot dog, whatever. But I'm looking for deals, baby. I'm looking for deals. So it's just the way I was always brought up. When you got a mama that's working two jobs, she works in the factory, and then she gets home, she takes a bath to clean up so she can go work as a waitress. And if mama don't bring the fried chicken and tater wedges home, you don't have supper. You kind of grow to appreciate things a little more. So that's why I thought, well, I can't be a band director because I can't grow poor. Because I remember my band director telling me, and I had no idea about this. He taught me everything. He taught me how to cut wood, how to use a saw, how to split wood. In other words, he used me basically for slave labor, right? I go over there, we cut wood, split wood, but he taught me how to drive a straight shift Chevy Love pickup truck. So I learned how to drive a straight shift. He encouraged me to do things that I was scared to do because I was a D student before I got into band, and I was a horrible musician. But one guy took an interest in me, believed in me, and next thing you know, I'm on a music scholarship and a darn fine trumpet player at the time. So you just need someone to believe in you. So I believe in every one of you here. The interesting thing is we opened this room up, right? Totally free. We got over about 130 people that have joined our room. All right. And I know people are busy through the day. You got jobs, you got everything. But look how many people out of 123 people are here today. We have four. We have four people. We could publish our strategy in the Wall Street Journal and nobody would do it. People don't want it. People want things done for them. And yet here you are, a seeker of knowledge coming in and trying to learn a little bit from somebody who's lost it all, blown up accounts, 24,000 in a day. I'm a broken record, but we learn from our mistakes so that I'm not quite as bad as I used to be. And we're applying logic, reason, probability, statistics into a very, very comprehensive plan that has a lot of different parts to it. And you may gravitate toward one thing or the other, whether it be the Black Swan Hedge, AIM, BAME, whatever. But we could literally put AIM or BAME into the Wall Street Journal. Nobody's going to follow it. And even the people that read the book, how many people you think actually bought that book since the 70s? How to Make $1 Million in the Stock Market Automatically. There's your gold diggers that want to just do it quickly and easy and go, oh man, it's going to tell me to buy XYZ stock and I'm going to make it. Or, maybe there's a book that'll tell me to put it all in Bitcoin and I'll make it. Well, that's a gamble. That's a gamble. We're not gamblers. I am a gambler, right? That's how I got started in trading by playing online poker. Beth didn't like me doing that because she thought it was disgraceful to the family. And so she said, won't you trade stuff instead of doing poker? Now, I think if I had continued to study poker as I was studying it, I think I would have been one of the best in the game. Not to pat myself on the back, but I think I would have. Now, now that I'm starting out in chess, right? So I've gone from a score in the 200s, my rating in the 200s, to in the 500s. But then over the last couple of days, instead of learning and studying, I said, I'll just play a few more games of chess. So I played a few more games of chess. And now once you get better, they start getting you against better people, right? So now I'm playing people that are rated in the 500s and 600s. And now they have kicked my butt back down to the 400s, my rating back down to the 400s. So I was looking at my stats the other day. You know what my percentile is? Of all the people in the world that have signed up on chess.com, I am in the 19.8th percentile, which means there are 81.2% of the people on chess.com that are better than me. You know how humbling that is? I go, man, I'm pretty smart on this chess stuff. I ain't jack crap squat, nothing. I mean, there are minds that are, way, way advanced in chess. So I'm in the 19th percentile. 81% of people on there are better than I am. And apparently because they're kicking my tail. Even though Matt, I hate to bring it up again, I did whoop Matt one time. That's the only time we play. But you'll probably whoop me the next time we play. So anyway, we talk about life. We talk about music. We talk about liberty. Oh, speaking of which, had a little devotion going this morning. Book of Philippians. Not that this is a Bible study, but I thought this was really good. So Paul's writing to the folks in Philippi, right? I like this. He goes, I rejoice greatly in the Lord that you renewed your concern for me. And it is nice, isn't it, to have somebody that's worried about you. If you're going through a bad time, to have somebody, hey guys, Daddy's in his session, hush. Y'all get out. He goes, indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. Now, we see that a lot of times, right? People say, oh, man, I love you. I pray for you. And then you never see them when you're going through your hard times. But he genuinely says, but you had no opportunity to show it. Then I like what it says here. Now, listen to this, y'all. I want y'all to think about the situations that you've been in your life and certainly situations that I've been in my life. And think about this. He says, I'm not saying this because I am in need. Well, the dude was in need all the time. Why? Poor dude was locked up in jail most of the time that he was writing, right? He said, I'm not saying this because I'm in need. So old boy has been locked up. He's been, persecuted. He's gone through all this stuff. But I like what he says here, and this is what I want to share with you. He goes, for I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. And isn't that interesting to go, you know what? We ought to be content regardless of our circumstances, regardless of which stage of life that you're in or what's going on, and just have that overwhelming peace that comes over us. He says, I know what it is to be in need. And y'all do too, right? And then listen, I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Isn't that neat? To say, man, I've seen it all, I've been it all, I've been persecuted, I've been hungry, I've been full, and through it all, I am satisfied. Uh, just really, really overwhelming inspiration, and inspiration, hopefully for you this morning, you'll find it as well. Because as we say with our old friend James Taylor, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end, seen lonely times that I could not find a friend. And we've all been in those situations, up and down, up and down. And so as time goes by, and with a little faith, you kind of go, well, you know what? Regardless what happens, regardless if our little account here gets blown out, is that going to upset me? Yes. But is it going to kill me? No, because I'm a fighter, and I'm going to fight long enough to where I'm going to be successful. So I've been in the car accident, in the wheelchair for 6 months, hospital for 51 days, out of work. When you're in a wheelchair and you go into a restaurant, um, and never been in a wheelchair before, and then you're in a wheelchair, and then normally the waiter or waitress would always hand me the ticket when Beth and the family and I would go out to eat. When I was in a wheelchair, guess who they gave the ticket to? They gave it to Beth. So I was like, it's an interesting thing. I recommend it to anybody. If you've never been in a wheelchair, you ought to go to a restaurant one time in a wheelchair. And if you're in a wheelchair, you'll know what I'm getting at here. They treat you different, right? They treat you from a point of weakness, and you and I are not weak. Right? We have been given every ability that we need to be successful. And what we find is that it's more or less our tenacity, our commitment to not quitting that makes us successful. Y'all, this is hard. Trading is hard. It is difficult. It is probably the most difficult endeavor I have ever engaged in, whether it be chess, whether it be music, whether it be being a father. I don't know, being a father, that's been an eye-opening experience, but it's tough. This is not easy. And you're going to have, you know you'll see fire and you'll see rain, and you'll see sunny days that you thought would never end. You thought you are the trader du jour. You are the stuff. You are the Karen, the super trader who will never have issues. You just pocking in the hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars, and you'll think you're the stuff, and then you'll blow up. So then you'll quit, then you'll go into something else, and you'll just turn your money over to some advisor at Merrill Lynch, who you know churning your account for fees. So you know that's why what we do here is we try to help you. I try to help you, trying to reach out. I'm trying to help you, and in turn, you are helping me. How? You're keeping me very grounded on the accounts that I show you, right? I'm not out here doing crazy stuff. Now, every now and then you see me do some crazy stuff, but for the most part, we're really, really grounded. You keep me accountable. I come up here every day. Okay, good. Fly swatter, because they are all over the place. Hand me that
It
thing.
can grow,
Thank you, baby. And it's a pink one too. It can grow.
but it
Awesome.
ain't yours.
Oh, it's not yours. Well, go kill some. They're all over the place. Are y'all eating up with flies this year? My God, well, my kids will close the door. That's the one thing. So they come in every time. If you see any, kill them, baby. And they said we even had two yellow jackets in the house today. All right. So what was I saying? Anyway, you'll think you know it all. I think, there's times when I go, man, I got this down. And we're always learning, always adjusting, always changing. So very, very, very cool. Oh, and it was kind of cool today too. I got Beth, are you in here? Hey, listen to this, Beth. You'll think this is kind of neat. My former professor, Matt, you'll like this. My former professor from the University of Alabama sent me an email saying, Bobby, we need a professor. Law in the name. She said, and she's in charge of the search committee. And she was thinking about me. Can y'all imagine me working at the same place employed by Nick Saban? Would that be cool? Huh?
Walking into bid good like you own the place.
Well, walking into the dang place like I own it. I mean, just like, hey, Professor Bobby's here at the University of Alabama. I just can't get it out of my head. I'm sitting there going, me and Nick, I'd sit there, we'd have our, probably, I would think he'd want to meet weekly with me. You think, man, that Nick and I get together maybe weekly, or can you imagine me being on the sidelines, just being the, I don't know. I wonder if you're a professor at Alabama, if you get like free parking or free admittance to the games. Matt, how would that be? Huh?
I think you probably get.
What would I get?
Similar to what students would get. Like as far as for the games, probably no parking, but.
No parking, but maybe I could get into the games.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how that works. And you could probably get me away game tickets.
Oh, I could probably get you tickets. Can we just play Alabama just a second? Hold just a second. Here we go. Ready? Trail on time, every Bama man behind you, hit your stride. No peaceable laws to behave. And the yellow jackets who are watery grave. And it's a bad dark weekend. That's a shame for Bama's fucking grit and rip her name and Griffin blame. Hey, I don't.
Have you heard that they're wanting to add Oklahoma and Texas?
Oh, yeah. So now we've extended invitations to them.
And I've heard that there is talks about adding Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, and Florida State.
So what?
To the SEC.
Well, that'd be only one conference we need in the whole country. Wow. All right. If they want to get whooped by Alabama, come on in, baby. That's all I got to say. All right. Enough about Alabama, y'all. So enough philosophy, music, faith. Let's get into the trading. Matt, did you almost cry when I played Yay Alabama there? Did you like that? Yeah, Alabama. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's look at the market, y'all. Boy, I woke up last night going, wow, it was down like 0.7%. Okay. So what we're seeing in the market, kind of cool, y'all, is we're getting some two-way action. I like it. I like it a lot. We got markets going up. We got markets going down. And every day, you never know what's happening. Now, here's what I'm thinking, though. Let's just talk what I said yesterday. I have a sneaking suspicion, as I did in January and February, early February of 2020, that the pandemic is raising its head again. I may be wrong, and I'm not political on our show here, and I try not to be a Bible thumper to y'all. I don't want y'all to think that. I just share with what's on my heart. But one of the things that I'm thinking is that it's coming back. Now, here's the neat thing. Before, we were all kind of scared to death, right? I was kind of like, we wouldn't go anywhere, y'all. I'm telling you, we stayed in the house. We were in a bunker. So yesterday we went out to Jefferson's, little, place where you get chicken wings and oysters and burgers, stuff like that. Not a person in there had a mask on, and that's fine. We're not wearing our mask either. And everybody was just, doing good, like normal stuff. So nobody's shutting down. And I think what the problem is at this time is that we may have gone, you know what, I survived it the first time. It killed over 600,000, what, Americans, right? 600,000, I think, so 625,000 Americans that have died. And we joke about it that, you know, if you got hit by a motorcycle and you got killed, then they counted it as a COVID death. So who knows? But a lot of people died. And I think we all go, well, hey, we lived through it, so we're going to be fine. So I think what may be happening on this second wave, and I'm not talking about that, we're talking this from purely trading and financial. I think we are a little too big for our britches now. And I think this time we're like, I lived through it forward, ain't going to kill us. You know, you're more likely to die by, you know, getting killed by a barracuda in a swimming pool than you are from dying from COVID. I got it. But I think we may be a little bit too big for our britches. And then today I see the information where they're saying, well, it may spread like chicken pox. It may be as, you know, contagious as like chicken pox. I remember when the chicken pox and the measles and all that stuff went, where'd y'all go? Hey, hold on. Oh no. You dang right it's being recorded. All right, we'll start over. I lost internet for a second. Joe Biden's trying to shut me down, or maybe Trump's trying to shut me down. So make sure we're back. Yeah, so what will we say? So I think we may be a little too big for our britches this time. Maybe we won't do what's necessary to shut the virus down. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about this. All I can remember is me growing up with my mama saying the two worst things that ever happened in her life were the two biggest things happened in her life was the Hong Kong flu. She said she almost didn't survive that. And I'd be like, oh, mama. And then the birth of my mama. My mama was the biggest baby ever born in recorded history up to that time in Calhoun County, Alabama. She was like over 11 pounds. So she was a big old thing. And my mama said the first time she took a look at my mama, she croaked at her like a bullfrog. And, you know, that was what my mom's memory was of my mama. So my mom thought that the Hong Kong flu was horrible. So I don't know what I think about the COVID stuff. You know, we called it the coronavirus for so long. What is this? My internet is flaking, gotta go. Everything is flaking out. I'm going to let this finish, then we will start. Too good of a song to stop. Oh, that was me talking. Sorry, y'all. Get distracted. Anyway, so what do I think? I have the same feeling that I had in 2020 when I shut down everything and went only to the Black Swan hedge. I went only to the Black Swan hedge. And that's when the account went up 208%. So I've got that feeling. I really, really do. I think we're in the early stages of it. I feel like it's January of 2020 right now, and that something may be on the horizon. Now, we kind of came up with a tale, didn't we? That kind of gives us a clue as to when skew in the market may say that that's going to happen. I shared this with everybody. So let's open up our little skew driver today. Let's see.
Bobby, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. Let me share the screen again. Sorry about that. Thank you, Stacy, for keeping me in line.
You're welcome.
Driver here. Okay. So skew driver day before yesterday, and we need to track this somewhere. I need to like put it over to the side. Let's see. It was 36. It was 33 yesterday. What's it today? It is, says it's right at 38 today, right? 38 to 33. It's switching up based on prices. So we'll say it's about 33 again today. So, you know, 36, 33, 33. So what this is telling us is that right now, the skew in SPX is about normal. Skew is normal. Let's see, closest to 30 days now is 829 expiration. Let's go. You got to make sure it's done the right expiration. Let's go see. SPX. Let's see when the 30-day is. SPX is. Jason, can you imagine if I do get a new refurbished computer, how fast this is going to be? I can't wait. All right, so 30 days.
Yeah, that would be like night and day.
Wouldn't it though? So we're at the August 30th expiration, it's 31 days. Let's go back to our little spreadsheet. 31 days. Is it August the 30th? Yep, August the 30th says 31 days. So that's an expiration we got. So here I'll go expiration date. Oh, here we go. Expiration date, August the 30th. So you got to change this up every now and then. Let's see. Seems like this is one day ahead or something. August the 30th, let me put it on 29th, that I'll do it. Oh, dang, that didn't do it. Hold on one second. Pick a date, pick a date. Pick a date, any date. What's wrong with my thingy here? I can't pick a date. Pick a date here. I'll go 8/28. That's not pulling the right date in, is it? Let me give it a second to update. Maybe I do have to go back to the 8/27. 8/27. But I thought, let me update. Let me click the update button here. Update. Well, you think I know what I'm doing. Apparently I don't. Anyway, keep an eye on that. I'll play with that later. No need me sit here and try to diagnose why I can't pull up the date there. But we know that, you know, it's running anywhere 32, 33 on our little skew driver here. So just kind of, you need to monitor it. Don't take the absolute value, but see what happens. And what you'll normally find is, as this number gets less and less, so we've gone from 36 to 33 yesterday, 33 today, that as this number gets less and less, that's telling us that the skew in the options on the put side are priced in to basically give us a little bit of a tail that the market is going to go downward. Now, I'm not seeing it now, so I don't want you to, so I'm just saying monitor it. And we should see that number getting less and less before the big fall comes. And it just is a little tail that we'll see in the markets. Now let's go back to the charts and let's see what we're seeing for the day. Let's set up our day structure. So it's a Friday volume type of day. Here's the dumb money. Dumb money comes in the first 30 minutes. I hate to call it dumb money, but that's what a lot of the professionals call it, right? And then a lot of the pros, they'll pop in the last 30 minutes of the day. That's why you see those big moves in the final 15, 30 minutes of the day. That's when the pros, the big boys come in, do all their cleanup. So right now we see dumb money in, then dumb money goes down. And then we are now in what we refer to as the lunch time chop, where we just chop, 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 chop. All right. So as far as the day goes, we've got a lot of interaction with VWAP, both above and below, value weighted average price. And then we have an hourly mid band that is steeping down. Every hour, this is the mid price, and it's just slowly stair stepping down for the day. We look at AD. You kind of start looking at these things, right? What is AD right now? It's negative 39. So it's really just kind of a blah, blah type of day, even though the market is down 0.46%. So, you know, nothing to see here. What was the opening range? I always like to see what the opening 15 minutes does. What's the dumb money doing? And if you trade the first 15 minutes, I'm not calling you dumb. I'm just, I should figure out another name. The inexperienced money. How about that? So here we got it to about 43.84 to 43.97. So what's that? A 13-point range, which is kind of typical of what we're seeing over the last month or so. And then AD is just kind of really flat, right? You see it's just kind of going into its lunch time chop right here. All right, so let's look at the E-minis and SPY on our little volume profile. We just like to stay market aware. This is market awareness, kind of figuring out what the market is doing, what we think is going to hit. So I don't think the impending crash is going to happen Monday based on what I'm seeing. So if I look at SPY, we are a little bit down today. Hey guys, would y'all be respectful of Dad in a session and please get out or silence yourself? Okay, you've got the rabbit, but you're being disrespectful to all our friends here. All right, so we are overbought, right? So this is fair value. So price dipped into fair value, came back to overbought, back into fair value, and now it's just slightly overbought. Notice that our point of control on the volume side has now shifted, as I said it would. Remember, I said if we get a little bit of action up here, the point of control is going to, hold on a minute, let me yell for Beth, y'all. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. All right, so point of control has shifted. So we, would anticipate interaction in this point of control. We're below the 20 and 50 EMAs on the 30-minute, 10-day chart. And we, look at this, the 200 is right at the 50% line on volume profile. So, if you're overbought, chances are you'll see a pullback into the fair value range. But again, all of this will change on Monday because we'll be redrawing these charts. And we'll probably do some of those live on Monday. Probably won't draw all of them, but we'll draw at least the SPY and the ES. So let's look at ES. It's slightly different. Why? Because it has, it has overnight values, whereas SPY does not. So go to recent, recent, and pull up the E-minis so we can be market aware. E-minis. Here we go. So E-minis just under its point of control. The big green monster will populate. Notice that it is in the fair value area, right at its point of control where the most volume has been traded. And interestingly, it is below the 2050, just like SPY, and above its 200 moving average and the 50% line there. So what am I saying with the E-minis, the overnight product? This is probably what we give more difference to, right? Because it takes in the overnight and all of that rather than the SPY. So here's what I'm saying going into the weekend. Do I think the crash is Monday? No, I don't. I don't think the skew in the options indicates that. I just think that, we're fairly priced to a point in SPY of being overbought, which may mean a little bit of movement, maybe back down to even in the E-minis to this line. So that's kind of my hypothesis. Doesn't mean it's correct. Doesn't mean it's going to be right 100% of the time, but that's what I'm feeling. Now, yesterday we touched on a very important topic, and the topic is when we are options traders, how do we trade them? Well, we trade puts and calls, and we trade puts and calls, and we can buy and sell, and we can do that in any various numbers of combinations. So today, if we're looking at the market ES, and normally I don't trade individual equities, y'all see me do it, but I'm not good at it. So I rather stay on indexes, ETFs, market-related stuff rather than individual stock underlyings. But in the ES, we are down today. Okay, so just from, and we're down 0.42%. Now, when you say down 0.42%, something ought to be resonating with you. Wait a minute. That's a trigger to what? That is a trigger when we get a negative 0.4 or greater in a day to sell additional puts to establish a black swan hedge, right? That's what we now have permission to do when it's 0.3 down or less. Now, why? If the market is down, why would you sell puts? Well, you would sell puts because you can sell farther away from the money, which means they're safer. And the options premium has increased because when the market goes down, volatility goes up a bit in those options, and like a deflated balloon that receives a good old puff of air, those options percolate a little bit. So if you already have numerous black swan hedges in increments of 3 shorts to 5 longs, and you don't have any unmatched shorts, in other words, you don't have any -3 hanging out there that have not been matched with the 5 long puts, then today is a perfect day for you to start a new tranche of the black swan hedge. However, is it a good day for me to do it? Well, let's look. I have a complete black swan hedge here. Should be up today, up $15, up $197. So that's a complete 3-5 tranche. I want y'all to see it. It's got a -3 puts, and it's got 5 long puts. And indeed, it's doing exactly what it should, up $197. So let's go to the next one. We've got another complete one here. So this will give us two Black Swan hedges, up $157. Good. So then we have these 4 tranches of Black Swan hedge. Should be up a little bit today on a down move. And they're at $20. Then we have another Black Swan hedge here, complete. And it is up $2.50. All right, $145 on that one. And then got one at the bottom. We don't have to look at them all, but I guess we should since I've all gone through them. It's down $700. I mean, $7.50 on the day. And then I have something called BS86 shorts. Now here's the trouble child. And the trouble child is that it's down $30 today, but it's still up $112. But it only has the 3 shorts. See, it's not matched with the 5 longs. So that's kind of what I would call a naked 3 put. So that gives me a little bit of concern to the downside. And so, you know, perhaps I cannot sell another 3 today. In fact, I don't think I'm going to take on the risk since I have those 3 shorts of selling an additional 3 shorts. If you don't have the 3 shorts, is it a great day to sell them? Absolutely. Or another thing I could do is I could close these 3. Even though it's down $30 today, I could claim my $112 profit and I could sell another 3 if I wanted to. Collect more premium, take my profits on this, sell another 3. I'm not going to do that. I would rather wait on this. We've still got 62 days in these options, and we'll wait on this order. I've got a working order to buy those at $1.80, and right now it's at $2.45. Notice the down day did not mess with this at all. Did you notice this? On our harvest, you would think that this would have gone up tremendously with a down day, right? So my harvest, I think yesterday was at 55 cents. It's still at 55 cents. So when we're ultimately able to buy those 12 short puts back in ES, that's really going to strengthen my Black Swan hedge and build that wall stronger and stronger and stronger. But one thing that I will do today, because this is normally my daily trade, is I'm going to go in and I'm going to sell my MES put, my micro put. Did I do it yesterday? Oh, heck no, because the market was up big time. So I was not going to sell a put on that day. So today, I'm definitely going to sell a put. Heck, I might even sell 2. Where do I go? I go closest to 60 days without going over. And I normally go in and sell the 10 put. Got to make this back to single.
Now, Bobby, on the Black Swan hedge, are you still sticking to the $3, or are you looking at the 27% out of the money?
Yeah, I'm looking at what it looks like, man. I'm looking around the $3 or wherever I can do 50-point wide strikes, right? So, well, it's not going to show it in the MES, but we'll look at that. And we'll see if I was going to put on one today, we'll find a place to do it. That's a great question, Matt. So let's find where we would do that. And you want me to look in MES or ES?
I had a question for the harvesting. You had 12 open positions. Is that for just one of your tranches, or is it for all of your tranches?
That's for 4 tranches. So Jason, what I did is a month or 2 back, I said, let's buy 4 tranches outright. So it cost me a couple grand. And here was what I said, BSH 4, here it is, 4 complete tranches. I went out and paid a couple $1,000s for 4 complete tranches so that I could start selling short puts and do these other ones. So if you'll see, these 4 tranches are comprised of those 12 options there. So I put a order to close these when they get down to 20 cents. So right now it's at 60 cents. I put an order in a GTC, good till cancel, to close these when they get to 20 cents.
And is that the only tranche that you have that's open and finished, such as you have like the 3-to-5 ratio, or did the other groups have tranches that were open that needs to be harvested?
Yep. So all of those have that need to be harvested. And the reason I don't go ahead and put GTC orders on all of them, so this is the oldest one I think that I've got. So
Mhm.
let's see, Theta Vega. I guess I ought to put the mark on there. But as you see here, BSH3 is complete. Well, let's go to BSH1. You would think BSH1 would be the oldest one. BSH1. So let's see. Here we go. We've got a 3-5 tranche here. So I could put a GTC order on those as well. And the bad thing is, if you are, let's see what they're trading at. They're trading 50. So they're even closer than the other one. So this is even older than the other one. So I probably should put a GTC order on these as well. So all you would do is go in. We're going to buy these back at 20. Delete 20. And then we're going to make that GTC. Now, the reason I don't immediately go out and just put GTC orders on everything, I didn't realize this until I got a margin call. And I'm going, why am I getting a margin call? I called TD Ameritrade, and they said, well, it's because all of your GTC orders are taking up buying power. So keep in mind, if you have on a number of GTC orders, that they're taking up buying power that you may need to release in your account. So I try not to, I mean, I could easily go into every tranche and say GTC, 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 but I normally just try to eyeball it most times. And if you're with Tastyworks, you can't even put in a GTC order on a future option. So I'll let that go. So now you'll see we've got another GTC. Let's see. GTC. Working orders. So I try to keep my working orders very few, right? So we've got 2 there to harvest. Wow, it's down to 45 cents. Cool. So that one, once that, now see, if I could harvest this one for 20 cents, then yeah, I could go out to, I mean, say it got filled today, then I could go ahead and sell another 3 today. So it's just a back and forth. You're using the ebb and flow of the market to enter the black swan hedge. And it's really a cool thing. But just keep in mind that may take up some buying power. Let's see if there's a way for me to see that it does. Okay. So if I were doing one today, where would I go? Matt, you want me to go to MES or ES? Matt may have the boss.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so let's go to ES. That's normally what I do them in. So I'll go to ES. So we know we want to go more than 60 days. All right. So, 62 is getting close. We could go there. What if we went to 77 days? Give us plenty of time on this thing. So I'm looking at my strikes, just looking. And I know they're 100-point wide here. Well, I don't want to do them 100-point wide because that doesn't make it very strong. So fortunately for us, we see that the first time that we could do 50-point strikes is right here. Right? We could do the 2550, 2500. So what I would do is I would sell 3 here for 335. So then I would go and take my handy dandy calculator, because I have built y'all a little calculator that works really, really neat. BSH break even. So if we're doing one tranche and I sell it for 335, if I get through a sale for 335, then I could harvest for 20 cents and buy my loans back, buy my 5 loans at $1.80 and still make $2.48. Send me to Disney World, baby. I am on my way. Right? Or you could make this into an income trade and go, what if I buy my loans, put a GTC order in at $1.50? Well, heck, then that's a nice income trade. Then you got 77.48. Oh, what if you're really aggressive and say, what if we put this down to $1.35? This is what my original, if you've got my document with the original rules on this trade, you see that that was the original plan. Sell it for 3, buy the loans for $1.35, harvest your 20, and make you about $100 if the market doesn't crash. If the market crashes and you complete this thing, then this is well worth it. But you're using the ebb and flow of the market to do so. So if I sell it for 335, now let's just play a little bit. I love when we just experiment. There's no script here for me. I don't come in and I don't have anything really preconceived to talk about. We just do what I do when I'm analyzing my trade. So if I can collect 335 on 3 of those, let's just play a bit. All right, so that gives me a credit of $165.68. Let's bring out the handy dandy calculator. Y'all ever watch that Marcus guy that talks about the wheel? I watch his videos sometimes. He's funny. He's like from New Zealand or something. 165.68. So that's our credit that we bring in. All right. Now, what could we do with the credit? So we're selling the 335 at the 25.50 put. We're just playing. So help me think for a minute. 25.50. How many days does it normally take us to fill our loans? Do you realize that your little spreadsheet tells you that? It's kind of cool. What's this? So if I go to the hedge page where I put all these things in, on average, it's taking me 15 days to complete the hedge. So I'll sell the 335 today. I can expect in 2 weeks and a day that I'm probably going to get filled if I fill it for the $1.80 or what I'm going to do. So I need at least 15 days protection. So let's say today I can't sell 3 because I don't, I've already got another 3 naked out there. Well, what could I do? Well, what I could do is go out maybe about, I don't know, 35 days. Now what it says, 35 days. And what if I did, well, that was a 25.50. What if I bought, how much money did I got? I got $165, so I can't spend a lot. But what if I bought 5 of these? How much would that cost? 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. If I bought 5 of those, that cost me $171. So let's see. I'd pay $165 there, right? So pay outside. I really don't want to do something for a loss. So what if I go and do some? I'm just playing. I don't even know if we'll make this work. 35 days. What if I went to 32 days? Now, why am I going down in days? Well, because options are cheaper, right? The same strike that at 2,500 was 60 cents right here, maybe 40 cents right here. So what if we went and did, what if I go and I buy 5 of these? 5 of these, 3, 4, 5. See if we can create a hedge in a day. So if I bought 5 of these for 50 cents, that's going to be $125. Yep. 125 plus the commissions be 134. So I could put this one on for 165 minus 134.10. So we want to do it for credit. $31.58 credit. Now let's just see what it looks like. So let's go and let's analyze this trade. And this may not even provide protection at all, but I want y'all to think. I want y'all to start thinking about how could I put on a trade that might look kind of cool. So let's go put that one on. So now we'll go hide positions. I say we'll go to hide positions. Hide positions. And let's see how many we got here. I always close these out after we get finished, but I never do. All right, so there's the 5 at 50. Anything else in here? Single symbol. If we take that off, that should go to 0, right? Let's see if that does. Yep. So that's my only option in there. So let's buy 5 options. Now let's go back to the trade tab. And we were going to sell 3. Let's see where those are. At about 70 something out. 77 was it? So we were going to sell 3 of the 25.50s. So let's go click on that. Yep. And let's analyze that trade. Yeah, the good thing about what we do here is I don't want you ever just blindly follow. We got to make that 3, right? 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, so now instead of just showing that one expiration, we want to change that to ES. We want to show all ES simulations we got in, not just that particular expiration. Now it should show our 3 and our 5. All right, so here we go. We've got a little structure created. But what I think is good about our group is I never want to say, hey, follow this trade. Bobby just put in this trade, you follow it. Do the exact same thing. No. That's why I can't understand why people sign up for alert services. How dumb is that, right? I don't want someone to alert me on what to do. I want to learn how to know what to do. Now, we're trying to construct a trade. So we're selling 2550s. We're buying 2500s. Will this even give us anything that would be a hedge? Maybe not. Let's just look at it. So now we're going to go and we're going to change this to vol step. Let's see what it does in the event of a crash. And here. Okay. Let's pull it down. Doesn't look too good at 5%. We normally move this up to 15 so I can see what happens in the event of a crash. My yellow line is above my other lines there. So this does not look like something that would give us any crash protection, but let's look at it. Because we're just thinking. We're just thinking outside the box. We're trying to come up with something. So let's see here. Well, this is the, let me crunch this down. Move this over this way. I say we'll move this over this way so we can see what the 20% line looks like. Okay. Let's look at our price slices. And what we're probably going to have to do is move those strikes upward some. Hey, look, our profit and loss today is up 233,000. What in the world? Let's undo that. That should be 20%. There we go. So we're not at 233,000. We're down 1702. But what does that look like on our, as Jason sits there and goes, Bobby, please get another computer. Hold on. Let me clear out my trash again, collect my garbage. Go back to my analyze. Come on, baby. There it is. So, you know, when you see this, let's give the lines time to do what they need to do. So that says we're going to be down $9,000 to $7,600 on a 20% down move. Well, heck, that ain't good. So what you got to do is you can finagle your strikes. See if there is something that you could put on for 30 days of protection. Let's see. So if we did 25, you know what, this should strengthen it if you move your strikes up, right? So you go 25.50. Let's try that. What would the price of those be though? It's like 25.50. So now we're down 58 to 6,800. Looks like we're going to have to go up a big amount. Let's see what we can go up to here. What if you went up to the 2,800, 2770? Just moving those up, not trading. That won't help. 2,800 is what I said to start with. 2,800. But it's going to be more expensive, right? So that's going to be 80 cents. But then look, you've created something that looks a little more interesting. So on a 20% down move, now you're up $3,800 to $5,000 on a crash. So how much is that going to cost you though? We were bringing in what, $171, confirm and send. If you paid $80, then you know you're putting that trade on for a net debit. So what could you do? Well, what you could do is move in on time to try to find something a little bit cheaper, right? So instead of going to that expiration, you could go to a closer dated expiration, and you wouldn't get nearly as much time in the protection, but perhaps something that you could put on for a net credit. So say you wanted maybe 26 days of protection, right? 26 days of protection. Then you go in on about the 28.50. Let's buy those. Buy those. 28.50. Let's analyze that trade, and I'll change it to 5 contracts when we get over there. But I just want to show you how to build stuff. You need to know how to build trades. So let's get rid of this one. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And let's move this up to 5 contracts. Now we got something cooking. Look at this. So now, what's the price of that? 55 cents. Yeah. So now we've got something that we built that could give us a little bit of protection. Well, I say that's, hold on, let me change this to ES because it's not showing my shorts. So on that, just if you bought the 5, right, that would give you $21,000 worth of protection. if you bought the 5. But we got to sell something against that to finance. We never buy options unless we sell something against it to finance it. So let's go here and let's go /ES so we can see all of our little trades. Let's make sure that it shows up. So now we should say we ought to be able to show our, where's my stuff? High positions, price slices. Where are y'all? High positions. There we go. So now we're showing the sell the 3, right? Collect 335, buy the 5 for 55 cents. What does that look like on a, if I felt that the skew was telling me that the crash was imminent, then that would give us, I mean, not great, right? Not great, up 1,700 to 2053. So yeah, it may not be that we could build the trade. We had one built the other day that was much stronger. So if I am net short, well, not net short, but if I have a short that has not been matched with the 5s, chances are I'm not going to sell another 3. I was trying to create a way that it may be possible for me to do it today and give me, 30 days of protection or so, but I don't really see that. Don't really see that at all. All right, do I have, but I think we did a good job of identifying the strikes to sell if you don't have, an unmatched and you want to start a new tranche. All right, so let's go back to the trade tab. The one trade I need to put on is my little MES trade. Why? Market's down. And I try to do one of these daily. So if I didn't do one yesterday, I could do 2 today. But I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just going to do 1 today. So let's go. Thought I did this already. Apparently I didn't. So where do I go in my micros trade? I go nearest to 60 days without going over. Why? Because that's what I back tested and found that works the best. So I generally go to about a 10 delta, 10% probability of being in the money. You can see there will be other options there that we've already sold, right? And I guess the last one we sold was this one. We did this one on July 28th, right? Day before yesterday, and we got 1775 in credit. Now check this out. So we're about, the same area here. I could sell this one for $17.50, but let's collect $18 at a 10.74 probability of being in the money. I like those odds. So 18 bucks. I'm not going to be greedy. I could move it up to the mid, but we'll just try it for 18. Well, I'm going to try 18.25. Let's try to collect 18.25. Here we go. Sell that. It should take 0 buying power. Well, it's taking $8.25. Why? Because I've got all those huge hedges in place, right? That's why I can, comfortably sell puts. So we'll sell that puppy, see if we get filled. And then we'll go look and see. There we go. Pays to be greedy. Paid to move it up. All right, so let's go to our monitor tab and check on our short put. So now that trade is an unallocated trade. It should be unallocated. Where's it at? Where is it at? Instrument. Strange. All right, anyway, that is really weird. All right, so let's go to our short micro puts and let's see if there's any that we could close today. Probably not since the market's down. So we've been closing those if we get close to 50% profit. Now, sometimes you'll see me, just close the most profitable one, but I've been trying to get a little more credit out of them, a little more profit out of them. So, they're all up. They're all up except for the one I just put on, which will be down a little bit. So nothing really to do there. And if one of those things, if the skew driver, told me today that an impending drop in the market was imminent, then yeah, I may take risk off the table. But as we have looked at the big green monster, we looked at the skew driver, I don't feel that, there's going to be a huge correction on Monday. I feel pretty good, and we'll go into the weekend like that. Dad's in his session, baby. I'm about to be finished. I just wonder why that micro is not showing up here. let me do this. Let me go and take my groups off. Take my groups off. And then I'm going to put my groups back on, see if it does that. All right. There's that.
I had a question for the Blackstone hedges. So I'm looking at the doc, the one on the spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and it says to do like a 50-point wide spread, trying to capture it at, let me see, $1.35. And we're trying to do between 90 to 120 days. So I'm looking at strike prices right now between 90 and 112. Those are the two strike prices on the /ES. But I noticed if I try to get the short for $3.50 roughly, the next one is 100 strike away. Is that okay? Or should I try to go close to really get 50 strike away?
Yeah, try to get 50 strikes away, because what you'll find if you put that trade on, the protection is not nearly as good as having it 50 points wide. So what happens is that longer gap and having that long put farther away from your short doesn't provide the lift protection that we need. So, the good thing is if you're going to put this on today, Jason, it says 90 to 120, but you're fine going out to that, what was it, 77 days or so?
77. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine doing it there.
Okay.
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 But yeah,
great.
very good question. Yeah, don't put them 100 points wide. Now I watched one of Tom's videos. He's putting someone on, and some of his are 100-point wide. I'm not comfortable with that. I want to make sure I get the bang for my buck on my long options. So yeah, let's see. Let's go out to, where were you? 112 days or so?
Yeah, I was looking at 91 and 112 days, but they're both 100 wide when you get to $3.
Yeah. So what I would do if I were doing them here, I would sell this one 625. So it's not, the regular one, but then you could say, well, if I sell that for 625, what can I buy this one for? So then you go in and go, okay, so let's see. If I sold that for 625, so it's certainly fine to do other strikes as long as you're, building these up. So if you sell that for 625, all right, then what would you need to buy this back at? So here's what we do. We go over to, I can figure out how to do this, data, and we go solver. I say we go solver, there we go. So we're going to set our objective of K2 to a value of, well, I normally set it to 0, so I know what the break even is. By changing value F2, which is this 135, right? So you hit the solve button. Watch how cool this is, y'all. You hit the solve button. I say you hit the solve button. Precious memories. Unbelievable. Here we go. So there it goes. Cool thing. We could break even on this if we harvest our shorts for 20 cents and we sell these for 625. Then you could set a GTC order to buy the 5 longs for 355. Isn't that cool?
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And then
so
you have a
for the
break even.
final P&L, what do you usually try to aim for the final P&L roughly?
Okay, so it depends. If I'm making my money, if I'm an income producer and I'm selling puts, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm using this just for a hedge, then I'll probably set this as close to 0 as possible or a slight credit. Now, what if you're doing this for an income trade? Well, then all of a sudden you say, hey, you know what? I bet. And you start keeping up with the amount of time it takes you to get down. So here's the neat thing. Let's say you wanted to do this for $3. I'll show y'all this and then we'll be finished. I'm going to take my kids to. So say you want to do this as an income trade and say you're happy to put these things on and make $137. All right. So that's going to be your profit target. It could be anything. How long is it going to take for that long to get down to $3? All right. So that's the question we need to figure out. Now, you know how to do that. Now, this is cool, Jason. What's this? You're going to love this. And you probably already know this. So if we're going to sell the 2550 for 625, how long would it take the 2500 to go from $6 down to $3? Isn't that what I said? $3? Yeah, I think so. $3. Yep. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game. So now we're going to play this game. We're going to say, okay, 2,500. So let's go from the 112. Y'all help me count days. So if I go down from 112 to 77, how many days is that? 23 and 12 is what, 35 days. So let's see what happens in 35 days. So go and find your 2,500 strike here. Check it out. Jason, in 25 days, what is now trading at $6 should be what? 320. So it's probably going to take you about 35 days to fill your loan. Are you comfortable with having that risk on for around 35 days?
And
I would
that's
say
with the
yes,
markets remaining stagnant.
Yeah, basically stagnant, right? Because this certainly could go to $8, right? If if the market just crashes down. That's why what the first thing we did was we bought tranches. We bought these 4 tranches so I could do this stuff. Now I can go out and sell 3 and figure out, well, how long is it going to take for, what I'm going to buy back? So you go, well, I can't wait 35 days, Bob. That's way too long. Well, let's go to an expiration in between there. So let's go to 91. So that'd be what, 21 days? Right? 21 days. What's that option going to be worth in 21 days? All right. So you go in 21 days, the 2,500 is going to be 430. Okay. 21 days sounds better than 35. Why don't we shoot for 430? So then you go back and say, what's my profit going to be if I shoot for 430? Not responding. There we go. So 430. So you go, okay, I can fill that for 430. Oh man, I can't do that because that's going to put it, $187. So, you've got to go down to, is that right? Let me make sure 430. So $3 was 137. So, start working it up some. So maybe you go, I can wait to 350 somewhere in between. So I still, that would be basically a break even though. But you can play with these numbers, and kind of figure it out, see how long you got to hold these things. And again, it's just a guess. We're using, current option prices, current market conditions to project the future. But if you've already got a hedge on, so if you're using this for a hedge only, man, I want this filled as quickly as possible. If this is your only trade you're doing and you've already got hedges on and you want this for an income trade, yeah, move that puppy down to $3 and make yourself $137. Heck, move it down to $275. If you've got other hedges on, and make you $200. So you can easily do this as an income trade as well. Use the ebb and flow of the market to make your trades. Isn't that cool? All right, guys, I think I told y'all yesterday to have a great weekend because I had it in my head all day long that yesterday was Friday. I mean, everything about it just seemed like a Friday. So they're all running in together. So I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Remember, spend time with your family and friends. Y'all have a good time. Anybody need any help on any trades that are closing today?